Hello and welcome to another video update here from the Fire Brigade Union in the West Midlands. With me is Steve Price-Hunt, your Brigade Secretary, and I'm Andrew Scattergood, your Brigade Chair. Now this video update follows on from the one we did in the last few days, and what we're going to be picking up on is the points that Steve talked around industrial action. So Steve, in your last video we talked about industrial action, and if the Fire Authority didn't withdraw the contract and didn't listen to our concerns and adequately address them, that we would be looking to pursue industrial action. So could you just give a little bit more information to members about, when we talk about industrial action, what is it for and what are the reasons?
Well, there's a variety of reasons, Andy, so I'm going to go into a few of these with the members so they can have a better understanding if they haven't already got that. First of all, the flexible contracts. Now we talk a lot about flexible contracts, and these have been issued and are still being continue to be issued. Within less than 6 years, a majority of the workforce will be on these flexible contracts, and there's now even talk of the flexible contracts being used for promotion, which will accelerate that program even faster. But I think it's really important that members understand how draconian these contracts are. So what I intend to do now is read out the issue that's been inserted into all of our new members' contracts. The contract stipulates that your role map is not exhaustive and may be added to or varied from time to time by the service based on the exigencies or needs of the service, and providing reasonable notice. Some examples of these activities may be falls response, non-medical emergency and hospital discharge activities. By signing this document, you are specifically agreeing to accept changes and additions to your role with reasonable notice, as may be required by the current and future needs of the service, including but not limited to undertaking additional different duties, carrying out alternative funding work, working to department and individual targets, and working in close conjunction with other external organisations on a full-time, part-time, temporary or permanent basis. Now that contract is a catch-all phrases contract which allows the organisation to instruct the individuals on these contracts to carry out any form of commissioning work.
So I think what's really clear about that is what the insert into this contract is clearly not in the role of a firefighter, and one of the reasons why we know this is the fact that if this was in the role of a firefighter, they would never have had to have issued these contracts in the first place. So they're stepping and altering the role of a firefighter locally. Now I think one of the other things we've got here, Steve, is that these contracts are being issued to new entrants in the service, and members who are on the existing contracts obviously some might think that this won't affect them. So I'm wondering whether you could just explain what the risks are to those members who aren't on these contracts as things sort of progress with the fire service.
Well, as all our members know, unity is our strength, and whilst we all remain on the same contracts, we have the strength to collective bargain and maintain our terms and conditions of employment. Once there are less and less of us in the same bracket, then it becomes harder to defend our jobs and our roles, and when we're in the minority it becomes almost impossible.
So you said within 6 years that 50% of the workforce will be on these flexible contracts, and we've talked about the risk of the organisation and whoever's in governance changing our existing contracts for these new contracts. What is the risk of that, and how often does it happen?
In terms of changing the contracts, well, it is a serious concern to us because, one, we will be moving very shortly under a new employer, and we have no idea what that employer will use these contracts for. And two, there are other ways of moving you on to different contracts. One of those is what's known as a 188 notice. It used to be commonly known as a 90-day notice. It is now actually a 45-day notice. And recent developments is that in Hereford and Worcester this week, their fire authority voted to sack and re-engage the whole workforce on new contracts.
Right, so that's actually happening in a neighbouring brigade. So the reality is that this is a potential going forward. So that sort of clears up some of the issues with the flexible contracts and the risks why we think that we need to pursue the industrial action with regards to this. But that's not the only issue, is it? So what other issues are we facing here?
Well, we've got some serious health and safety issues within the brigade. We've raised this formally at the highest level of the organisation, and we don't believe that our concerns have been listened to and that they will address them. So therefore we're looking at serious issues around health and safety, and we're also looking at dictatorial management, which is quite clearly what is happening at present.
So we're talking about dictatorial management. We're looking at the way that the strategy's being developed and the way that the strategy's been evolved, and some of the recent comments from managements, you know, with regards to even publicly on Yamat, we've seen these sort of comments in the direction. So what we're saying, we've got serious concerns about the direction of the management and the style of the management, and we believe that that is also serious enough for industrial action.
Absolutely.
Right, okay. Well, that clears up some of the issues that we've got with regards to the industrial action. I think it's worth talking about the next stages in that. So our reps will be out on stations now, gauging the feel for the membership with this. We are talking about industrial action, we are talking about full industrial action. Reps will be able to give them some more information with regards to what that means, and our advice to members is to speak to your local branch rep, or if you haven't got a local branch rep, then give myself or Steve a ring to sort of clarify some of that. So we'll be looking to engage with it. Have we got any timescales? Is it something that's we're going to be doing quickly, or do we not know at the minute?
Well, we'll carry out consultation. We'll get our reps to speak to the members, and that will be done over the coming weeks if the fire authority do not reverse their decision, and we will be looking in the coming months for industrial action.
Okay. Well, I think that concludes our video update for today. Thank you for watching, and as always, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Facebook for any key updates. Make sure you signed up to our mailing list as well. And until next time, thank you for watching.